My name is Peter Bullivan and welcome to this video. It's the first in a series of videos setting out the outcomes of our work exploring patient safety and quality within provider collaboratives. Firstly, I'd like to thank all of the members of the teams of the NHS-led provider collaboratives in the Midlands who gave us their time and inspired this work. As a result of this work, we have produced a guide that helps you create a psychological safety climate in and across provider collaboratives. In this series of videos, we aim to show you why this is important, the evidence base, and why it could have a significant impact on the provision of services across the NHS. In this first video, we look at the concept of psychological safety and what it means for the provision of services and making them a better place to be. We aim to show you why this is not just another thing added onto the list of things that you've got to do, but actually is an approach that helps you with all of those things on those lists. Most notably, creating an environment for better outcomes for patients and greater satisfaction for all those people working hard to try and make a difference.
Provider collaboratives are a care model introduced to reduce organisational barriers that were unhelpful for patient care through devolved lead provider commissioning arrangements. However, they have the opportunity to be so much more. They have the chance to turn quality assurance into quality improvement, nurture an environment that supports people work together to create continual change for continuous improvement. Why? Well, collaboratives are different. They can operate without the more traditional hierarchical organisational structures. They can focus on function, not form. They can focus on the people, not just the processes. They can adopt an approach of working as a collective of teams working together for a common purpose and not an organisation determined solely by structures. Why is this important? Let's take a moment to think about why teams are important. Healthcare is delivered by people, often working together as a team. A collaborative can bring together different teams to work together with a common purpose that people value and are inspired by. It is the interactions between people that make the difference, and therefore how people feel is important. People who work in healthcare are usually not primarily motivated by money or other more explicit motivation. People are here because they care. Collaboratives can tap into this to inspire and motivate teams and individuals. They can bring together teams in different organisations who have something in common. They care for the same group of people. They can focus on the why and tap into it. Why do people do the amazing things that they do despite the challenges they face? They can use words to inspire and motivate. Words that describe their values. Words that define their collective purpose. Words that help them feel safe. Words that make them care. The why is so important as it taps into the part of the brain that drives belief, emotions, and motivation. Collaboratives are lucky as they have the opportunity to build on a fundamentally great why, making people's lives better. If we do not let that get lost in everything else. Healthcare is delivered by people, not organisations. It is about the interactions between people. These interactions are always different. Different patients, different days, different circumstances, different decisions. These decisions are always part of a chain of events of other decisions. Small changes in this can have a big impact in the outcomes of the system, the patient outcomes. Therefore, healthcare is a complex, adaptive system. Trying to apply traditional reductionist command and control approaches is not effective and sometimes can be disastrous. Reductionist approaches work with complicated systems like engines or clockwork. There are many individual pieces, but they all interact in the same way. It is predictable. More fuel, more power. A complex system is not predictable. Small changes can have a huge impact. The butterfly effect. We need to adopt systems thinking to have a greater understanding of what is actually happening in these complex systems, or work as done, as it's called. Understanding relationships, interactions, information flow, why a decision is made, not just what decisions. Pathway processes and procedures can help us develop an understanding of what should happen or work as imagined, but not necessarily work as done. Every day is different and people adapt all the time. Individuals use their skills and experience to make decisions to make it work as best as they can every day. It is this adaptability that makes things work in the complex environment such as healthcare. And as individuals have autonomy to use their skills and experience, teams need the same autonomy to adapt, attest, and change to make it the best that they can. It is people that create change, not organizations or processes. And people working together can create bigger change. And people working together with psychological safety can create a massive change. The concept of psychological safety was first discovered by Amy Edmondson. It was discovered in her project that was exploring the hypothesis that more effective healthcare teams would report less errors. However, in her study across multiple teams and multiple organizations, she discovered the exact opposite. The more effective teams reported more errors. These teams were comfortable reporting errors, as reviewing errors was an opportunity to review and learn and grow together. It was not just about attributing fault or blame. This is not the same thing as being nice. The reviews can be challenging and probing, but they are task-orientated and about collective improvement for a collective goal. It was about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. It was not about impression management to portray an effective team, but openness to learn together to be an effective team. The concept was further discovered and explored through a huge Aristotle project by Google. Google sought to explain why some teams were more effective than others. They explored traditional team concepts, but these did not explain the data until they discovered Amy's work. They found psychological safety to be the most important factor in determining a team's effectiveness. There were other more traditional factors, but psychological safety was the most important. And when we look at the others, meaning, impact, clarity, we can see how a collective purpose that people value can be so important. Psychological safety is about feeling safe to speak up, candor, but it is much, much more. It was about a team feeling safe to contribute, learn, and challenge each other to create better solutions. Psychological safety is about helping people to be more effective, more creative, and be more engaged together. A collaborative can be viewed as a collective of teams working together. They have the opportunity to function like a team of teams, especially if operating with psychological safety within and across the teams. As we saw from the Aristotle project, working together with a valued collective purpose is an important factor for the level of effectiveness. A team of teams exists where there is a collective purpose that everybody understands, owns, and values. As part of our guide, we illustrate how to use an objective setting and review process called OKRs to determine precise individual, team, and organizational objectives. The power of this is when it operates at the individual team level, but also shows how these team OKRs align with the overall collective purpose. It is a process that gives clarity, transparency, and rigor to defining purpose and setting objectives that are ambitious, achievable, and aligned with the collective purpose. It provides a mechanism to enable psychologically safe conversations around performance that are objective and task-orientated, challenging but objective. It demonstrates change, progress, and achievement, which can have a huge impact. Seeing how a team's achievement has contributed to a collective success develops self-efficacy and increases motivation. People see how their work fits in and how their achievements are helping the common valued goal. A team of teams exists when their teams work together without hierarchy. It exists when all teams have awareness of what other teams are trying to achieve and what we're all trying to achieve together. It exists when teams have the autonomy to drive change at pace. Teams of teams consist of different types of teams, those providing frontline services, project teams, and leadership teams, such as the board. The role of a leader within a psychologically safe team is about nurturing behaviors, facilitating communication, empowering, and problem solving. The leadership team has the same role in the team of teams, nurturing behaviors, facilitating communication, empowering, and problem solving across the teams. It is a set of teams working together and independently at the same time with a collective goal. The awareness of objective and achievement across all teams can create a powerful effect. It can nurture knowledge sharing and subsequent knowledge creation. It supports the creation of emergent ideas when individuals and teams produce progress that is greater than the sum of the parts. There are many potential benefits from creating a psychological safety climate for teams to operate in. Our research has shown there are a range of potential positive outcomes. Firstly, it helps turn the them into us. A collective purpose creates a common goal and gives the foundations for teams to identify with this common goal and the collaboration that aims to achieve it. This is particularly true when this purpose is co-produced and therefore valued. Awareness of the achievement, challenges, and progress of other teams nurtures empathy and understanding. Facilitating communication across and between teams and installing individuals that proactively network and communicate between teams further breaks down barriers and builds identity to create the sense of us. Psychologically safe environments support the growth of learning behaviors. Without personal fear, people feel able to share, contribute, and challenge objectively. They can see that reviewing challenges and when things go wrong is a positive experience that helps everybody develop and grow. Reframing failure into learning experiences creates a more open culture where people do not fear sharing or highlighting incidents or actions. There is no need for impression management as it is about transparency and learning without fear and to the achievement of the collective goal. Psychological safety can also make being part of the team a better place to be. The research shows that a psychological safety climate can lead to more engaged individuals. This can influence the levels of motivation, increase levels of well-being, and reduction in burnout. Finally, a psychological safety climate can increase a team's effectiveness and overall performance. Change becomes natural and continuous. Innovation spreads and emergent ideas emerge. It can lead to a better, more effective, and happier place to work. I hope you found this video useful and it has started your thinking. What would happen if we did this, and how would it work for us? In our other videos we explore the guide in more detail as well as the evidence that underpins it. Our guide aims to show you the key components we believe are needed to create this climate. It aims to create curiosity, provoke thoughts, and start the conversation. I cannot prescribe how it's going to work for you, but I can start you on that journey. For more information, please use the link here to access the NHS network that we have set up specifically for the provider collaboratives in the Midlands. Alternatively, please contact me directly. Thank you for your time.